important halacha, which is actually brought down. The rabbis instituted to say Kaddish al Yisrael and Shachrit before Hodu, and some people think that if you don't have the binyan before Hodu, so they continue, so therefore that's it. You don't have to say the Kaddish anymore. We have to understand that the purposes of the Kaddishim was in order to bring up the world, and therefore it's an obligation to say Kaddish, which means that even if there's not going to be anybody there, right, that needs to say a Kaddish, there's an obligation to say Kaddish al Yisrael. Now it does happen that, for example, what happens if we can't wait? So for example, here in the nets, you can't wait, because if you wait for a minyan, for example, so then that's it, you miss the nets. Or sometimes it happens that you have a workers' minyan, which means that the workers' minyan, they cannot wait for them to say all of a sudden, we're going to wait before Baruch Shaman. Because if you can't do it right before Hodu, so then you do it right before Baruch Shaman, and therefore you'll be able to do the Kaddish before Baruch Shaman. However, though, what happens when we can't wait? So then what happens is, it says in the Halakha, we mentioned this in the past, but somebody asked me this yesterday, so I just wanted to clarify again. It's brought down in the Halakha that what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to do the Kaddish al Yisrael even in between Pesukei de Zimra. Which means if you cannot wait by Baruch Shaman and you have to continue, whether it's because of the nets, whether it's because of what's going to happen, that it's workers' minyan and they have to leave afterwards, so then they will continue with Baruch Shaman. And in between, for example, in between Ashrei and Halelukot, or Halelukot and another Haleluka, whichever one it is, that's where you will stop. The person that's coming inside will come and say, and then they say Kaddish al Yisrael, and everyone's allowed to say Kaddish Yisrael, and they're allowed to answer on the Kaddish Yisrael in order to say that Kaddish that should have been said obviously beforehand, but because of circumstances they weren't able to, so then they're going to say it right now.